What's happening, YouTube? It's Steve from Drifter Gaming here again today, and this time I'm bringing you my review for Doom at the Dark Ages, a game that I've hotly anticipated since it was revealed last year at the Xbox Showcase, a game that I've really been excited for, especially after Doom Eternal. And yeah, a game that I really had a lot of fun playing through on my PS5 Pro, roughly around 15 hours to beat the game. It's got a unique story, which is set obviously as a prequel before 2016 and Doom Eternal. It follows the Ninth Sentinels, who are trying to stop obviously forces from Hell, who are trying to get the heart of Argent. So it's your usual sort of standard sci-fi story. The one thing I will say with the story this time, it's a lot more in your face rather than Doom sort of Eternal in 2016, which were more you pick up bits of scrap paper and it will give you a bit of lore and history of what's going on. Whereas this one, it's very much at the forefront of everything you do. You know you've got a clear objective, you know what you're looking for, you know what you're trying to stop, you know what you're trying to do, and it makes it quite clear to you. You get good cutscenes, you get good cinematics, and it's very clear and obvious, like, right, this is the story, this is what's happening, and as part of the story, obviously, Doom Guy, the Slayer, whatever your preference is, he's basically under control from Creed Makir. I don't know if I've pronounced that right, so apologies if I haven't. He basically has got you under lock and key, so he's only sending you down to fight as and when he needs you. Other than that, you're basically stationed on his ship in space, pretty much locked up where you can't move. He's got you under some sort of psychic control, effectively. It's like a magnet that's on you, and every time Doom Guy tries to break out of it, he's basically repositions itself to stop that from happening. And yeah, like I say, with the story is unique. It's good. It's a lot more enjoyable than previous Dooms. I must admit, I did play the original Dooms on the PS1. Obviously, I was only a kid when they came out. My mum and dad couldn't afford the PC, so I only had the PS1, and that's where I played them on. Again, from my knowledge, they were never really big on the story. It wasn't like it is nowadays. Doom 2016, Doom Eternal, again, much the same. Obviously, you're going through different levels. You'll find it again if you choose to go and find it. You'll find bits of lore, collectibles, etc. If you choose just to run and gun and get yourself through it, you're not really gonna have a clue what's going on. I'm one of these people. I do like to get my platinum trophies. I do like to go through and find things. So I did find out obviously the history and what was going on, but there were a lot of people that complained about it. And that's one thing I do give credit to Bethesda for, and ID Software, is that they actually have taken on that criticism, and they've definitely looked to improve that, and they've looked to make sure that they make it a more enjoyable and informative story for people, so people can understand what's going on, especially in an era where we've got loads of open world games, big story games, even like your Call of Duty, your Battlefields. They all have big stories on their games now, and you can see the sort of direction that Doom are wanting to go with. So yeah, I mean, I want to end it there on the story. I don't want to say anything more because I don't want to spoil it. Like I say, it is a it's a very enjoyable story. I think a lot of people will like it. Now getting onto the setting and the gameplay, I love the medieval setting. I really do like the way that they've got the buildings feeling medieval, the weapons that you use. Obviously, you can see on the screen using the shield. There is a mace that you get. There's various other weapons that I don't want to spoil for people. Um, you obviously do get guns as well, which is just standard, but you really will have a lot of fun with the sword. I must admit, see when you're throwing your sword through and you can cut through, I would say, maybe 10, 15, 20 enemies at a time. It really is satisfying, and it helps you clear out areas as well. But yeah, like, you just look on screen, you can see the areas. It really does look great. Like, every level you go on, it feels like it's medieval. It feels like it's good to 100, 200 years ago, and it's a great feeling. Like I say, with the weapons as well, the weapons feel really satisfying. Again, it's got that same feel from Doom Eternal and Doom 2016. It feels satisfying when you're shooting and obviously you're brawling with people. It feels really good, and especially the influence of the shield this time, where you can block projectiles. As soon as you see the green sort of rocket come towards you, you can just knock it back, and then that way you can go in for your finisher. It really is satisfying. The enemies as well. You get dragons in. Obviously, I think it's well versed. Everyone knows you can fly a dragon in this one. But obviously, the fact that you can fight dragons, there's ogres. Again, it really touches into that sort of medieval feel. Obviously, we all know our history. Obviously, is a lot of folklore about dragons and stuff like that. And I think a lot of people that have ever played Skyrim and that will sort of love having them in games. The one thing I will say with regards to the gameplay, though, the combat is a lot slower and it's a lot more methodical than Doom 2016 or Doom Eternal. As I was sort of touching on earlier, Doom Eternal and Doom 2016, they were very much run and gun. Brilliant games, but they were very much run and gun. Get into an area, take out everyone, get out. Whereas this one, I think, when you're going into areas, you do really need to think what you're doing, how your approach is, how you're gonna get through it and not get killed effectively. Because when you go into a big open area, you have sort of like six separate groups of enemies, and then there'll be one group of enemies that are sort of like protecting a big bulldozing brute. And if you try and go and run and gun in there, you'll get wiped out. So you really do need to go in there and think, well, actually, how can I get through this? Take out all of these enemies and not get killed myself. And I like that. I really do enjoy the fact that you have to think it through. You can't just go into it and basically run and gun it. You have to think it through. Right, what am I going to do here? And I think that adds an extra layer to the game, and it adds, especially for replayability, it adds something in there that makes me actually want to go, right, what if I go and try it this way? How will I get through it? And I thought that was good. I hope it's a sort of direction they keep with Doom moving forward, because I think it really does work well. Um, Especially with the anime AI, I did find that they work well in groups. There's a lot of games that you'll play through where the enemy AI can be really, really bad. They don't move well together. They're quite restrictive. They just stand in one bit. Whereas with the enemies on near here, there's like the little demons that the sort of golem looking demons that you'll come up against. They really do move, so they'll try and go behind you. You get the big enemies that will come for the front of you. The sort of half size enemies that will go to the side of you, and it really is good. It really does get you thinking, and it helps you approach better, and how obviously helps you improve and makes you think, well, actually, how can I do this better? How can I get through here easier? What can I do to obviously avoid that happening again? And it is a steep learning curve. Like I say, I'm not someone that religiously plays Doom. I'm not. So for someone that doesn't religiously play, and I do play a lot of first-person shooters. I've played through obviously all the Halos, the Gears of Wars, Call of Duties, Battlefields, and I'm not exactly bad at them games. But with this, like, there is a steep learning curve, and it's one that you have to learn quickly, or you're just going to get wiped out. And it's one, if you're stubborn and you have your one approach, and that's how you play, then you're going to have a tough time with it. You really are going to have a tough time with it. The mechanics in the game are well explained out for you. They teach you for everything really well. Again, it shouldn't take much explaining. Obviously how to block and what to do, especially the fact that the projectiles are in green as opposed to there's the ones that you can't block are in red and orange. Like, it's pretty obvious, but generally for what they've done, they have explained it well for any newcomers coming in. So again, it shouldn't be difficult. Long term, obviously at the start it can be quite tricky because you're trying to pick it all up. But no, really, really impressed with the gameplay. Really enjoyed it. The graphics as well, what you'll see on screen now are absolutely stunning. As I say about the medieval effect, the way the rain comes down, the way the rain runs down the walls, the attention to detail, the destruction when you're shooting an enemy and you see basically their body explode, the bits of their body flying all over the place, the blood, the fire, everything really is well done, and it's something that caught my eye last year at the Xbox showcase when they showed it off, and I was really impressed with it then, and it was something that I was excited to see because there's a lot of games that they'll show off great graphics, but when it actually launches, they're nothing like that unless you're playing on PC, obviously. But with this one, the graphics actually do live up to it really, really well, and yeah, I mean, obviously, I really am impressed with it. The only disappointment for me, and I will be honest, I'm someone that's going to go back for the platinum. So I've had my first run through. I can't remember exactly how many hours it was. I think it's anywhere between sort of 12 to 15 hours. Um, so I'm going to go back through for the platinum. Maybe take me another couple of runs, depending on what I can pick up and what I miss. So realistically, you're talking maybe if you're lucky 25 to 30 hours. Now, what I don't understand is why is there no multiplayer on this? It really makes no sense as to why they've not added multiplayer on it, because there's no replayability, especially for the price that they're charging. And it cost me £65 in UK. I'm assuming it's $70 in the US and Canada and that. But why exactly would you not have multiplayer on it? It doesn't make sense to me. It really feels like, to me, they're limiting their game, and they're going to stop people from playing it, because at the end of the day, once you've beaten it, if you're not really a trophy hunter or an achievement hunter, then you're not going to carry on playing it. You've got no reason to go back to it because the story's not going to change. There's no sort of options with the story. You don't get dialogue options or anything like that. So there's nothing to change the story. There's no different outcomes. So why would you keep replaying it? Yeah, like I say, that for me is the only real frustration about this game, is it makes no sense as to why you wouldn't have that on there. I'm sure they've got their reasons. You never know. Maybe it's something they can add in at a later date, or at least take on feedback for the next Doom. But again, for the average development times now 5 to 7 years, so you could be talking 2032 before we get another Doom. And you think, well, for people that are big fans of this franchise, that's not great for them, because they're going to have nothing to play in theory of Doom unless you go back on the older titles and that. But for a new game that's come out 60, £70, $70, like, that's not great. But again, it is what it is. Obviously, it's their decision. They've done it. But yeah, just to round off, like I say, my thoughts are overly uh, positive with this game. Really did enjoy it. I've had a great time with it. It's definitely something I'm going to go back for the platinum. I'll go back to that a little bit later down the line. I've got quite a few games coming out that I want to get through first, but definitely something I plan on going back for the platinum. And it's definitely a game that I would encourage people to pick up, especially the fact if you've got Xbox Game Pass or PC Game Pass, you can download it on there as part of your subscription. It's definitely something, if you've got those subscription services, you should 100% should pick up. I would say if you're a PlayStation only gamer, I would wait until Black Friday, potentially the Christmas January sales, before you pick it up, purely on the basis for the price that they're charging, the lack of replayability, or guaranteed replayability, should I say. It's probably not worth the price. But definitely, if you're a PC or an Xbox gamer and you've got Game Pass, pick it up, download it. It's not going to take much of your time. It doesn't outstay its welcome. And for the story alone, I would say it's 100% worth it. So let me know down below, guys, what you think. If you have picked it up, if you plan on picking it up, or what your general thoughts are. Leave me a like and a subscribe if you don't mind. It always helps. Also, leave me a dislike if you're not happy. Then that way it helps me understand and get better. Other than that, you have a great evening. Take care. See you next time, guys. Thanks.